Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Bobby Tonelli and I'm here at Cathay Photo, one of my favorite places to go to for production equipment. I'm probably here too much and they're probably sick of seeing my face, but I just love being here. And I'm here to talk about my journey with production equipment, especially the Manfrotto tripods, the 635 and 645 FAST tripods. And the reason being is a lot of you see me in front of the camera, but I'm also behind the camera for a lot of the work that I do. So let's go inside, let's talk more about the tripods and my journey with them and in production. Let's go inside. By the way, I'm already scanned in, so if you're wondering, safety first, it's already taken care of. Let's go. All right, guys, so now we're next to my two tripods here, the 645 FAST and the 635 FAST. Now, of course, the main difference is dual leg, single leg on this, and of course, weights. And there's also two different heads on it. So in terms of the tripod head on this, we've got the 504X, which is the updated to the 504 HD. Some of the differences are you got a higher payload of 12 kgs now, so you can fit up a C500 on this, no issues at all. And also it's lighter, like I think 0.9 kilograms lighter, and also have a 4-step counterbalance versus a 3-step counterbalance system on it. So there is a big upgrade for you out there, and this is a very, very nice tripod head. But of course, the Nitro Tech is the one that caught my eye. It's absolutely beautiful. Could we say a tripod head's beautiful? I do. I say they're beautiful. So are tripods. But actually, it's very user-friendly. And I'll talk about a little bit why it is in just a bit. But you're probably wondering how I got into this whole thing. And like many of you, I was, prior to our circuit breaker lockdown, we realized we had to do a lot of things from our home. Now, I work with a production team a lot of the time that has their own equipment, and I realized I would have to do a lot on my own, and as a result, I needed to sort of set up a little mini home studio and set up my kind of system to make that happen. And I went through a variety of different tripods. Now, my photography tripod is a Gitzo tripod, which I absolutely love, very lightweight, but when you want to do some fluid movement, it's a little bit challenging with the standard tripod head. So, and also it's lightweight, so if you have a larger camera, it's gonna shake a little bit. So then I decided to try the Joby GorillaPod, and I wanted to see how that worked out. Then I realized I needed something a little bit more flexibility in terms of height, because I could only set that on a table, or I could hold it in my hand. So then I started looking for tripods. And one thing I've learned in production out there is we can go really inexpensive, right? And we can, upgrade a lot, or we can invest a little bit and upgrade a lot less. And that's the route I took with this. So hence, that's where I came up with the 645 by Manfrotto, and Cathay was very kind to help me throughout this whole journey to make this happen. And this tripod is lightweight for being a dual leg tripod. It's carbon fiber, and the fast action to it makes it very easy to set up. And that's something I wanted, something I could carry around with me, set up very quickly in my home, wherever I'm at, and be able to get the shot that I need without having to fiddle too much with the tripod. And that's where the 645 comes into play. Now, why I went with the Nitro Tech head, because you're thinking, well, I could have gone with a 504 or some other head. Why did I go with the Nitro Tech? And if you're looking at this setup right now, you're probably thinking, did I set this up wrong? No, I didn't. I set this up in a way that I could film myself at home, but make it in a much more fluid and seamless motion. The reason being, I did it reverse. So if I'm doing a Zoom call or I'm doing something on Microsoft Teams or any sort of virtual conference, and I need to move myself, let's say move a shot to show something that I'm talking about, my hand is here, but in the camera, they don't see that at all. They just see the camera move. And it's nice and fluid. And wherever I put the camera, it stays. So of course I have my Atomos Ninja 5 on top of this if I want to record, let's say, in a higher quality video format. I have the S1H here. I can see myself in the display. And then sometimes if I'm doing a call on Zoom, I can put my phone here, or I can put an iPad. There's an attachment for an iPad as well that you can get. So I have all these available for me. So this in a way is, you could call this the most, the most complicated selfie rig of all time. But it's not complicated once you use it. And actually the end result is that you get really nice shots that are very professional looking, very streamlined. Case in point, I did a Zoom session one time for a brand that I was working with, and we had to cook. So I was in my kitchen, I had to host the event, and then I have to show what I'm cooking. Now, normally someone would just put a wide angle shot and just do everything ultra wide angle, but when you're looking at Zoom, this is your screen. It's this small, right, on someone's computer or a phone, or even it can even be smaller. And I realized that I want my face to be the subject of what I am or whatever I'm doing. And that's where this comes into play. So of course you can say, well, what about Zoom, this and that? Zoom, of course, you're gonna have to manually focus, but you can kind of pre-do that. But even if I'm here, you're really not gonna see my arm. But this for the tilt action, so if I'm talking here, then I go down to what I'm doing, it's nice and seamless. So that's why I like the Nitrotech, and as you can tell, wherever I place the camera, it stays. It never moves. Now, how you set this up is very much like a gimbal, right? There is different ways that you will balance your camera onto it. Once you do it, it's very fluid, very easy to set up. And Andy over here at Cathay Photo was really helpful for helping me get through this because I asked a lot of questions because I was really new to this, like a lot of you might be. And so a lot of the staff here are fantastic. Andy was the one that really just kind of walked me through this whole setup on this, and that's the end result right there. But also the payload on this is 8 kgs. And for me, I think a lot of you probably have seen me on YouTube reviewing a number of cameras. And so I've tried a lot of cameras on this thing. Anything from the A7S III, A7C, SL2, SL2S, R5, R6. I'll be trying the C70 soon. Of course, the S1H that I have here and the S1R. So I've tried a number of cameras, right? And all those cameras in that mirrorless market will fit this, no problem at all. 8 kgs is pretty much, that's a lot of weight. Even a 1DX3, 1DX2, D6, D5 will all fit, no problem at all. That's why I went with the Nitrotech, because of the fluidity and the versatility of this head. Now let's talk about the 635 Fast, which is part of the same family, of course, but it's a single leg tripod, lighter. And I love this tripod if I want to go on the go, because this is very light for being a dual leg tripod, but it is quite hefty. So it's not something you're going to carry on your backpack and carry around with you, right? I mean, if you're on a film set or whatever, you're going to have your crew carry this around. But if you're a single man operation and you still want that quick release to set up really fast, and I'll show you how it works in just a bit, that's where this one comes into play. Now I have the 504X head on this, and this is just a twist, lock, and you're good to go. And it's pretty much the same concept. It's really easy to take with you. You got spikes at the bottom if you need to go into some rough terrains, but you course you have the rubber feet on there. You don't have the spreader like you do on the 645, but do you need a spreader? A lot of the time you don't need it. Most of the time I don't use it. It's there because it's there, but unless I'm really, if I'm gonna be on uneven terrain, this is easy with the spikes. And that's what I really like about this one, is it is lightweight. And I've taken this with me on a couple of shoots already, and the setup is simple. Again, these are investment tripods, but I always say invest once, you're gonna save money in the long run. You can go inexpensive, but you're gonna spend more money. You're having to sell your product, buy another product, lose money, back and forth. I've done this. I've got the t-shirt. I didn't wear it today, but I have it. I've done it way too much. So that's where I decided to go with the 635 and 645 Fast, because to me, these tripods will last for a long time in the heads. I don't need to change. I mean, unless I decide one day I want to become Michael Bay and then I'm going to get some massive RE rig, then I might have to get a different head, but I'm not going to be, I don't think. So like a C500 Mark II, or this S1H, or even an A7S III, or even your smartphone. You can put your smartphone in this if you want. I mean, it'd be a little bit overkill, but you can do it. But yeah, you can do things like that. You can really customize these. And then you can take off the heads and you want to put it on a slider, you can do that as well. So if you want to do some really cool footage shots, some nice pan shots, you can do that. There's a lot of great options with this. And you can use it for photography, which I do sometimes as well. You want to do birding, you got a massive lens, and this has got a pretty heavy payload. You can use it for birding if you want. Who would have thought a video tripod for that, but it can be done. And that's the cool thing. Once you start getting into this, you start realizing all these different usages you have for these tripods. And it's not just a singular focus video only. Yes, they're designed for video, but you can be very creative with it. So in terms of portability, obviously one is larger than the other. So which one would I take with me? And that would probably be the 635 for a lot of my travel needs. It is a smaller footprint, but actually when you fold them both up, they're almost the same and they fit in the same bag. But because it's a single leg, it's a lot easier to carry around, and if you're in some tighter situations. But you do have to realize that if you're gonna be taking this on a trip, that it is, I'm saying lighter in terms of a video tripod, but I don't want you to think it's like a Gitzo photography tripod. It is gonna have some weight to it. So you're not gonna throw this on your backpack by any stretch of the imagination. But this is the one I take with me, and I've done this with a number of shoots because I do a lot of tech reviews, and sometimes we like to try to shoot in more unique places around Singapore, and sometimes the terrain isn't ideal. So I will take this out with me, and obviously depends on the camera that we're using. So yeah, the 635 usually comes with me. The 645 is usually in my home studio for the most part, and I have it like pre-set up. So if I need to record anything on my desk with my lighting set up and everything else, it's good to go. I just put the camera on because it's a quick release plate, you know, snap it in, good to go, and just balance it, and I'm off and recording. This one, obviously, would be the more travel-friendly one out of the two. All right, one of the key features of these fast tripods is that they're fast. They're very fast to set up. As a matter of fact, the synchronized way that works, so you can drop it down with this if you want to go really low, and then if you want to pull it up. And of course, then you want to balance it, we get a level right there. It lights up at night, so you can do that. And then once you're there, tighten it, and you're good to go. And it goes pretty high up. That's much taller than me, and I'm 183. So if you're a very tall filmmaker, this has got you covered. It also goes really low too. We can take away the spreader. We can actually spread out to go quite low. So yeah, that's the key feature of the 645 Fast. The 635 is like the 645. It's a fast tripod as well, but instead of levers, you actually got twist locks on this. So you're going to unlock. You can see the directions here on each of them. Bringing that down. Lock. 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 If you want to pull it all the way up, unlock. And then lock, lock, and there you have it. And of course, you can also spread this out if you want to go very low to the ground, but we don't have a lot of room here to do that. But that's pretty essentially it. And then of course, you're going to want to rebalance your head here. Once you're level, you're good to go. All right, another feature I like about the 635 that's not on the 645 is the Easy Link friction arm attachments. Now there's 2 points here on the tripod, and what's nice is they're on the tripod. So let's say you have a large camera like this and you don't have, let's say, like a bracket around it to mount various different things. You can actually mount lights, let's say a boom mic underneath this or whatever it is that you want to put there. And it's on the tripod, so you don't have to reconfigure or balance the camera again. It's all there. Now I do have a small mini friction arm here that attaches. It's 3/8 thread on it. All you just do is twist it in. And these ones from Manfrotto actually have a support here, so it's not going to come off. It's locked on there. This is on tight, right? This is very, very solid. And then all I have to do is just tighten this portion, mount whatever I want there, make sure it's in the right area, and we're good to go. So again, if you're a single person production crew and you need to have a mic, a light, all that, and you're in a very confined space and you can't have lights around like what we're having here, you could put a light here, a fill light, so it's right underneath you and look good on camera, and a microphone on one side and a light there, and you're good to go. Yeah, that's essentially my setup for this. So, you know, this is a live session, so any questions you have, what you can do is hit me up in the comment section and I can answer them for you. And, you know, if there's anything I can't answer, I guess we'll have some specialists here that can answer that for you. But this is my journey with the 635 and 645 Fast tripods from Manfrotto. And big thanks to Cathay Photo for the support for the many years. They've been fantastic, and the team here is wonderful as well. So with that, hit me up with your questions.